have a wonderful, wonderful, and interesting young lady who is or was addicted to shopping. She's going to be sharing her story with us. So, first of all, I'm going to ask her to introduce herself. Hi, welcome to the show. Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Olariwaju Ayobami. I am a software asset management consultant.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. It's nice having you here.
Thank you.
So tell us, you said you were once a shopaholic, right? You were addicted to shopping. So how did this start and when did it start? Tell us the story.
Like I said, don't just say I'm addicted to shopping. Just call me a shopaholic. I think that better represents me.
Okay.
The shopping habit started when I was 13, and that was when my mom started giving me money to buy my provision. So instead of buying provision, I go all in, buy clothes, buy shoes, and buy anything that attracts me.
Then what happened to the provision?
I don't buy them.
So what happened to you?
I go hungry.
Oh wow.
Yes, I go hungry because I wanted to buy those things. And then either I go to the dining hall or like I drink Gary. That's it, because that's what I can afford.
So what do you do when others are eating, having their own provision? Just looking at them?
Sometimes, instead of begging, I didn't work out. I start reading my books. Or sometimes, I might decide to go and sleep. I'll be crying on my bed because I know I'm hungry. But it's still fine.
Wow, interesting story. What other things have you done as a result of being a shopaholic?
I don't know if I shared the story before. I told you, or maybe I told someone before, that I used the money that I'm supposed to use to pay my acceptance fee into university. That's after seeking for admission for 4 years. I used it to shop.
So you finally got admission into school.
Yes.
And then you're supposed to pay a certain amount of money for
acceptance fee.
And then you spent everything. You actually squandered everything
on shopping.
Yeah. So what happened after that?
After that, I was thinking of ways to get that money back. So I started thinking, should I start making hair for people around me just to get this money back? It didn't work out. I started asking some of my friends, please, who has 1,000? Who has 500? Please give me.
You were going to ask 30 people for 1,000?
Yes, to get the 30,000 back. But it didn't work out. I finally had to go meet my dad 3 days to closing. Dad, please, I need money. He was like, for what? I said, after 4 years of seeking admission, I couldn't get one. Now they're supposed to pay for profile. My star looked at me, I'm like, money for profile? I said,
of course, you couldn't tell him that it was money for acceptance because he had already given you that.
He's giving me that one. He said, which kind of profile is that? And since I'm the first child, there's nobody who will ask. He said, he grumbled and gave me. Then I finally told him what I did with the previous money. That was after I changed. He just laughed at it and said, you should have just told me the truth.
So after what other, incidents or what other, stuff happened as a result of being a shopaholic?
Okay, there was a time during my life. Then I was in 400
during your life, you're still alive?
I mean during my shopping life, when I used to shop heavily. Within that month, I got close to $1 million from several scholarships I had. I got 400,000 from the scholarship. I got 200,000 from another 150.
All added up into $1 million.
All added up into $1 million, and I spent it on a month.
No, you don't say. You spent 1 million naira on shopping in 1 month. What exactly were you shopping?
Bags, shoes, clothes. I started to order online, and they weren't coming in small. I can buy 20 bags a day, 40 shoes.
Handbags?
Yeah, handbags, different ones, and they were so beautiful. They were beautiful online.
So, but wait, those money were supposed to be for school fees, right?
Yes.
So, how did you not end up paying for your school fees?
I collected it back from my parents.
Oh my goodness.
I've squandered.
Were they aware that you were on scholarship?
Yeah, they were aware, and what happened to the money? One story or another. And
wow, you had
the money was gone.
My parents were asked to go back and get that money for wherever it is that you threw that money to. So, what would you say have been the negative effect of being a shopaholic?
It brings back memory. I recall a time I used the money I was supposed to use for SWEP. I don't know if you know about it. They call it Student Work Experience Program.
Okay.
Every 200 level engineering student go through this program. So they gave me the money for the SWEP, and that day I didn't intend to spend it, seriously. But as I was passing by, oh my god, I saw this car, very beautiful. I just just thought to myself, swipe is still in the next 1 month. What about if I spend this money? That's going to give me another one. Because money is coming in soon. I added 2 plus 2. I said it was 4. Let me buy
How much was it?
What to mention the price of
And
the
you
car.
spent
I spent the money for my swim. Now,
Okay.
the following week, I learned that they shifted the date for payment
forward. Oh my
my
god.
Where will I get this money? I spoke to that. Dad said, babe, there's no money. I thought you said you are paying in the next 1 month. I already gave you this money. I couldn't see anything. I started to call my friends. Please, I need help. This way.
These were the same friends you were obviously helping.
Yeah, I was helping them.
Giving them clothes when you buy.
Yeah,
You know.
give them clothes, give them.
So were
all
they able
of
to help
them
you?
came up with stories. Sorry, I don't
help.
have money. Sorry, I right now I don't have much. I don't even have food to eat. I was like, I thought you had money. He said, I thought you had too. That was when I knew that, wow, I was going to carry over this sweat if I don't do something about it. I had to borrow money from one of my close friends.
Which of course you had to pay back.
Of course, I had to pay him back after 2 weeks.
Can you imagine someone having money and then spending all on shopping and they had to borrow money?
I was
So,
enjoying it.
when did you get to a point where you said to yourself, enough is enough?
Okay. After I was spending like that, like a spendthrift for almost like 4 years while I was in university then. Then let me say I started when I was 13. That was when I was in secondary school. But those times I wouldn't say it had so much effect on me because I wasn't taking my decisions on my own. But you know, when you get to tertiary institution, your parents are off, so you get to take every decision yourself now. So I scattered my money, my scholarship money from 100, 200, 300, then 400 level. Then there was a scholarship that we had to bring our bank statement. So I got a statement for just the year, and he said it was this high. I was like, how come? How was my bank statement this high? I started to go through it one after the other, and I saw that within that year I had close to 1.5.
Wow.
Where was the money? Nothing.
So what was the balance of the...
If I recall very well, the balance was one ridiculous 1,170 something.
1.5 million to 1,000.
1,000.
You spent all on shopping.
I spent everything. And then I now told myself, if I had kept this money, I could have bought myself a new laptop. I could have bought myself a car if I wanted
invested
to.
the money.
Yeah, I could have gotten a land if I want to. But I spent it all. And I looked back, where are the clothes? Yeah, they're in my wardrobe. I had close to 5 bags. I had a lot of shoes. That some of them I don't even wear for a day. I just wear it at the market where I saw it. I loved it. I thought it was tight, but I was like, maybe one day my leg will shrink. And then to be my size, lose weight and the clothes will fit well. So eventually the owner comes to pick it because I never lose weight and my leg never shrunk. So I now told myself that this had to stop now. But it was almost too late. I was already 500 level. So I was like, but it's never too late to take a good step. So I told myself like, this
when you're
was
on the wrong road or taking the wrong journey, it's never too, no matter how far you've gone, it's never too late to turn back and make the right choice or be on the right road.
So I took that decision that this has to stop now. But I knew to myself, like, if I had to force myself to stop this, then I'll go back to it. Because it's easy to go back to a bad habit to a good than a good one. So I decided, once I get money, why don't I keep a part away where I cannot touch it?
Okay.
If I keep this part away, then in a place where I had to go queue for so long or beg for so long, I didn't trust my friend. I don't want to keep money with them. I don't want story that touch. So I said, okay, once my dad pays me at the end of the month, that's my pocket money. I'll take. First, I started with 20%. So I had 80% to myself to squander as I like. But once I finish that money, I know this money I can't withdraw it because it's in a bank, and I might have to go queue for so long. I don't want that.
You might have to do something that you're not, that would cost you or that would stress you, which of course you didn't want to go through. Okay.
So that was why, and I started doing it, and I noticed first I think I had 2,000. From 2,000, I found my 2,000 jumped to 4,000. Later I had 10,000. Then I had 30,000, and I thought, wow, I had money, and I squandered it. Again.
So at what point did your addiction stop?
Yes, after squandering my 30,000, and now I had nothing, and then I had to tell myself, you can do this.
Okay.
Though you squandered this, that means you want to
try
stop
again.
it. Then you can try again. So
Second chance. Give yourself a second chance, yeah?
Yes, I gave
Okay.
myself a second chance.
Okay.
And since
So
that
did it work
day,
out?
yeah, it worked out. Another thing I did to myself was I started to question my buying. Do I
Okay.
really need this? If I don't have
Good
it, will I
choice.
die?
Mm-hmm.
And if I won't die, why should I buy it? Is it needed? Then I started to make a list. I go through what I have in my wardrobe. Do I have this top, I have this skirt, I have this trouser. Do I need another one? I have this color of shoes. Do I still need to get another one? It's still the same color, and this one is still as beautiful as that one. So I started to make better choices about myself. I started questioning myself each time I want to spend money. Do you need to buy this? Do you really need it? Or do you just want it? Because I found that things I want to buy,
There's a difference between need and want. Yeah. You might want this, but you don't really need it.
you don't really need it. So I just started questioning my buying. And sometimes, if I know I like something so much and it's so beautiful, I go online, I check and look at it, and then I find out this is beautiful. I found another one that is much more beautiful, and then I found out one that is
the price
more
might be
beautiful.
might
And
not be that high as well.
Yeah, so I started comparing things before finally buying it.
Fantastic.
And
So now you can simply say you've been delivered from from your addiction, right?
God, I thank you. Yes, I can safely say I am delivered.
Awesome. So
I can
what
say I
would
am
you
it.
say to our viewers who are watching and who is saying, do you know what? I've tried everything. I'm addicted to shopping. In fact, I am worse than you. You call yourself, well, look, I'm worse than you. I've tried everything. I've tried to stop. I have done all that. What would be your advice? To such a
I
person?
will just tell you, you can't be worse than me. Because one, sometimes I go to market for no reason. I don't want to buy. It's not because I have a list. I just want to go because I might find something that will attract me, and I'll buy. And I'll span everything in my pocket, and then I'll come back home almost trekking home, and I'm like, why did you do this? I'll beat myself down and I'll start again, and then I'll still do the same thing. So if I can be in that state, and I decided one day to tell myself, you can do this, then you yourself, you can do it. It just takes your determination and your decision. If you've decided, no one can change your decision. Just tell yourself, I can do this. No matter how hard it is, I will start small, and my starting small is going to become larger. You can start by, okay, let's say you have like 100% of your money, immediately it comes in. Before you start touching to spend, after removing the money for your tithe, that's for Christian. If you want to, I'm a Christian. I like to pay my tithe. I don't like to hold God. So if after you've done all those things, then the next thing is just think to yourself, this money, I don't want to spend you. I don't want to touch you. So the best thing I'll do is, I don't want to kill myself either. Let's divide it.
Okay.
50-50.
Okay.
Half for the future me, and half for me now.
Okay.
Or you can decide 60-40. 60 for the future.
Whatever
me.
works best for you.
Yeah.
But
40
what you're
for-
saying is you have to divide it
Yes,
so you don't squander everything.
so you don't squander everything, and that's because you are keeping your seed away for the rainy day. In case you need to borrow money, you don't need to go to your friend. You borrow from yourself.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Viewers, you've heard her. If you're a shopaholic, please listen to an ex-shopaholic.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time where we'll be talking about different type of addiction. Bye for now.
Peace out.